This is Elona Washington, and thank you for joining this week's Author's Office Call. Today, we are going to discuss the 5 criteria all authors need to write a memoir the readers will never forget. And at the end of each criteria, I'm going to give you an example of a reader's review when your memoir fails that specific criteria. Let's begin. Criteria number 1, universal theme. So, a lot of times when people think about writing their memoir, they know that they want to focus on a particular theme of their life. But when they get to writing, it becomes a chronological account of their life. And when you do that, it becomes an autobiography. So the difference between an autobiography and a memoir is the autobiography details the entire life from birth to present, and it'll talk about several themes in the book without really highlighting one in particular or discussing the transformation of that theme. But when you decide to write a memoir, you're going to pick a specific theme in your life, and you're going to use different time periods, different events from your life that's going to help amplify that theme and talk about your emotional truth, your reflection, your subjective experience, and then your transformation. So think about it like this. If Michelle Obama wanted to write a memoir, the book would have detailed her life as FLOTUS, but Becoming was her autobiography. She talked about her entire life from childhood up until the present. If she had only wanted to talk about her life as the first Black lady of the United States of America, she would be focusing on those 8 years and using reflections and stories from her childhood and college life to bring home any personal truth or transformations that she had to undergo to become the best version of herself so she could hold that job with the esteem that she did. So, if you fail to have a universal theme in your memoir, your reviews will sound like this. This feels more like a documentary, or I couldn't relate to this, or why should I care about their life? Number 2, narrative arc. So, a narrative arc means your memoir has transformation. So, it's similar to the universal theme, but this focuses on the transformation, not just the timeline. So it's not going to be I was born, I went to school, I got married, bad things happened, and now I'm okay. That's chronological. Your arc, and I'm going to give you the the prompt or the statement that you can use when you decide to map out your memoir. It goes like this: I believe X about me. Then this happened, and everything fell apart. I made this choice, and here's who I became because of it. When you think about it like that, you talk about when you believe X about yourself. You're going to reflect on stories from your childhood, occurrences from your present that help amplify that message, right? And then when you discuss, then this happened, that's going to be the climax. Something happened to change your reframe, to make you think, oh no, enough of this. This has got to change, right? Things may fall apart, or it could be. Then you're going to delve into the choice that you made to transform yourself to becoming who you are today. and having the courage to tell that story. That's the narrative arc. If you miss that in your memoir, reader reviews may say things like, nothing really happened. I can't tell the difference. This felt like a list of events, or where was this going? Number three, this is where most authors fail. And that's when I say most fail here, let me just let you know and understand. It was a struggle for me when I wrote my memoirs, but the vulnerability is what is going to grab the reader's attention, is going to make them have that emotional connection. It will connect with you, your pain, your transformation, your joy. And without this level of vulnerability, your reader reviews will sound something like this. I feel she was moving back, or this felt surface level, or I wanted to know how she really felt. And that also just sounds like just number four is having vague lessons. And a lot of authors write vaguely because they're ready to tell them the truth. There may be shame, there may be fear of judgment, or they may be at the point where they're able to be specific. So when they write, there's going to be a lot of inspirational messages, things like, this is how this should be done. You should do it this way, uh, but without giving any details into the person's individual journey. Those type of stories will be missing scenes, they'll be missing dialogues and details about the person's specific journey. So the readers write reviews, they're gonna say it's too abstract or picturing. It reads like a self-help book and not a story. And the final criteria is market awareness. I think I've spoken to I think every single author have told me, my friends and family told me that I should write a book, right? But without having market awareness, readers won't understand who this book is for or why they should buy this book or whether or not this book is for them or not for them, right? So for market awareness, you need to understand your comp titles, your comparable titles. And those are the books that are similar to yours. If you say there's no book out here like mine, or I can't find a comp title, that really isn't a benefit. That just says that there may not be a market for it, or the niche is so small that no one has bothered to write a book. Not saying you can't be successful, but it could be more challenging, right? So, on the flip side, people might say, oh, this book is for everyone who's been through X, or it's for all Black women. But when you market a book to everyone, you're actually marketing a book to no one because there are so many nuances to the Black woman. There isn't one book that can speak to all Black women. There are some Black women who live their life on the far right. There are some women who live their life on the far left. And no book is going to speak to both of them. So when you have a book that lacks market awareness, you'll hear reviews um, where they don't understand the content, or they may judge the content based upon their life experience because that book wasn't for them. Or you may have a book that doesn't sell, period, because people don't know that you're writing for them. and you won't be able to reach them specifically. And that is it for this week's Author's Office Hours. Be sure to comment below if you have any questions or insights, and I will see you next week for a new topic.